Have you ever been too nice and felt like people took advantage of you? Or maybe you've always thought being kind is the key to a better life, only to realize that it's actually holding you back. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism, uncovering the hidden dangers of kindness. Yes, you heard that right. Kindness isn't always what it seems. Kindness is a virtue, but when misused, it can lead to some serious problems. If you've ever felt like your kindness is ruining your life, this video is for you. I'm going to break down 4 ways kindness can actually ruin your life. Stick around to the end to learn how to balance kindness with the wisdom of Stoicism. Because sometimes being too nice can cost you more than you think. Let's get started. 1. Don't set yourself on fire. Imagine a candle, a simple small candle with a steady flame. Now picture that candle burning so brightly that it starts to melt itself away, quicker and quicker, until there's nothing left but a puddle of wax. This is what happens when you set yourself on fire for others, burning yourself out to keep them warm. In Stoicism, one of the key teachings is about maintaining balance and protecting your inner peace. It's not about shutting people out or becoming cold. It's about understanding your own limits and not sacrificing your well-being for others. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, often wrote about the importance of self-care and maintaining your mental state. He believed that you should never allow yourself to be overwhelmed by the demands and needs of others, especially if it comes at the cost of your own health and happiness. When we set ourselves on fire for others, we might think we're being selfless or noble, but what we're really doing is neglecting our own needs, our own sanity. We think we're helping, but in the long run, we're just hurting ourselves. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself saying yes to everything, even when you're tired, stressed, or simply don't want to? Have you ever pushed yourself to the point of exhaustion just to please someone else or avoid disappointing them? Stoicism teaches us that it's okay to say no. It's okay to prioritize yourself and your own needs. You don't have to set yourself on fire to prove that you care about someone. You don't have to sacrifice your happiness for the sake of others. A true Stoic knows that strength comes from within. It's about having the wisdom to know when to give and when to pull back. It's about understanding that sometimes the best way to help others is to first help yourself. By taking care of yourself, you're in a much better position to support those around you without burning out. So, next time you feel like you're about to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm, remember this: you matter too. Your peace, your happiness, and your well-being are just as important as anyone else's. Take a step back, breathe, and remember what Marcus Aurelius taught. Protect your inner fire, because once it's out, it's hard to rekindle. 2. Reciprocity has an expiration date. Have you ever felt like you're always giving and never getting anything in return? Maybe you've helped a friend countless times, but when you need them, they're nowhere to be found. Or perhaps you've gone out of your way to support someone, but they don't seem to appreciate it. This can be frustrating, right? In Stoicism, there's a valuable lesson about giving and receiving, and it's all about understanding that reciprocity has an expiration date. The Stoics teach us that while it's good to be kind and helpful, we shouldn't do things with the expectation that others will return the favor. Why? Because life doesn't work that way, and holding on to these expectations can lead to disappointment and resentment. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, wrote about doing good for its own sake, not because we want something back. He believed that our actions should come from a place of virtue and goodwill, not from a desire for recognition or reward. When we give with strings attached, expecting something in return, we set ourselves up for disappointment. People may not always reciprocate, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our thoughts, our responses, not on what others do or don't do. Imagine you're planting seeds in a garden. You water them, care for them, and hope they grow. But sometimes, despite your best efforts, not all of them will sprout. It's the same with reciprocity. You can do good for others, but not everyone will respond the way you expect. Does this mean you should stop being kind or helpful? Not at all. Stoicism encourages us to act with virtue, but it also teaches us to release ourselves from the burden of expecting something in return. By doing this, we free ourselves from the chains of resentment and keep our peace of mind intact. Think of reciprocity like a shelf life. It doesn't last forever. People change, circumstances change, and sometimes the balance of give and take shifts. That's just part of life. By understanding this, you can learn to give without expecting anything back, knowing that your worth isn't tied to how others treat you. So, the next time you feel let down because someone didn't return a favor or acknowledge your kindness, remember, reciprocity has an expiration date. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. This is the Stoic way. Give with a full heart, but don't let unmet expectations weigh you down. Your peace of mind is far more valuable. 3. Received requests have no limits. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the number of requests people make of you? Whether it's friends asking for favors, family needing help, or colleagues pushing more work your way, it can sometimes feel like everyone wants a piece of you. No matter how much you give, there always seems to be another request waiting. This is where Stoicism offers valuable insight. The Stoics understood that received requests have no limits. People will always have needs, desires, and demands. The more you do, the more they may ask. If you keep saying yes to everything, you may find yourself stretched too thin, exhausted, and even resentful. Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself to protect his time and energy. He knew that if you don't set boundaries, you can end up being controlled by others' requests. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control, your own actions, choices, and well-being, not on trying to meet every demand others place on you. It's important to remember that saying no is not selfish, it's necessary. When you constantly say yes to others, you may be saying no to yourself, your rest, your priorities, and your peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us to be wise with our resources, including our time and energy. Imagine your time and energy like a pitcher of water. Every request you receive is like pouring some water out of that pitcher. If you keep pouring without refilling, eventually you'll run dry. This is why it's crucial to learn when to say no and protect your inner reservoir. People will always have needs, and they'll keep asking as long as you keep giving. But you have the power to decide how much you're willing to give. You're not obligated to meet every request, especially if it drains you. The Stoic approach is to give willingly and wisely without overextending yourself. Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect. It's about knowing your limits and understanding that your well-being matters too. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Stoicism encourages you to be mindful of your own needs and to make decisions that preserve your inner peace. So, the next time you receive a request that feels too much, remember, it's okay to say no. Received requests have no limits, but your time and energy do. By setting boundaries, you're practicing the Stoic art of living a balanced, fulfilling life. Protect your peace and give yourself permission to prioritize what truly matters to you. 4. Being seen and treated as fragile. Have you ever felt like people treat you as if you're fragile, like you might break at any moment? Maybe they tiptoe around you, afraid to hurt your feelings, or perhaps they avoid telling you the truth, thinking you can't handle it. While their intentions might be kind, being seen and treated as fragile can be frustrating and limiting. Stoicism teaches us that true strength doesn't come from being protected or sheltered from life's challenges. It comes from facing those challenges head-on and developing resilience. When people treat us as fragile, they often don't realize they're doing more harm than good. They're not giving us the chance to grow, learn, and show our true strength. Marcus Aurelius, a well-known Stoic philosopher, believed that every person has the power to handle whatever life throws at them. He wrote that our minds are stronger than we often think, and that we should not be afraid of difficulties. By facing challenges, we become stronger and more resilient. When people see us as fragile, it's easy to start believing it ourselves. We might start to doubt our own abilities and feel weak or incapable. But Stoicism teaches us to look beyond how others see us and focus on our inner strength. It's not about proving others wrong, it's about knowing our own worth and capabilities. Think about it this way: if you wrap a glass in too much bubble wrap, it never really gets the chance to show how sturdy it is. It's the same with people. If we're constantly protected from every hardship, we miss out on the chance to build our strength and resilience. Stoicism encourages us to embrace challenges and see them as opportunities for growth. When others treat you as fragile, it's important to remind yourself that you are capable and strong. You have the power to handle life's ups and downs. You don't need to be coddled or shielded from reality. Being seen as fragile can feel limiting, but it doesn't define you. Your strength comes from within, and it's something you can cultivate through your thoughts and actions. The Stoic mindset is about focusing on what you can control, your response to life's challenges, not the challenges themselves. So, if you ever feel like others are treating you as fragile, remember this: you are more than capable of facing whatever comes your way. Don't let anyone's perception limit you. Embrace your inner strength, face challenges with courage, and remember that true resilience is built from within. As we've explored today, kindness isn't always the simple virtue we think it is. Through Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, we've uncovered how it can lead to unexpected challenges in life. But don't mistake this as a call to abandon kindness altogether. Instead, it's a reminder to practice it wisely. Being kind doesn't mean being weak. It means knowing when to stand firm and when to extend a hand. Remember, kindness can be a double-edged sword. It can build bridges but also burn you if not wielded carefully. So what will you choose? Will you let kindness lead you blindly, or will you apply it with the strength of wisdom? The Stoics didn't just preach kindness, they preached wisdom, strength, and balance. In your journey, let these virtues guide you. Be kind, but also be wise. Be firm, but also be fair. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and sharing it with others who might need this wisdom. And remember, the next time you choose kindness, choose it with intention and purpose. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep seeking the balance in life that Marcus Aurelius taught us.